Good evening, good morning, good afternoon. This is from my location. Welcome you to this wonderful evening program where we share our thoughts about our peaceful declaration and the movement that we're into, the things that we need to do at this first stage for us to achieve Biafra as our own country, which is the most important thing in this stage that we are into. That is why we are here this evening. We need to understand that the movement has changes from just a normal protest. We need to understand that we are no longer into protests. And we need to understand there is no amount of protest that will give us Biafra as a country. Now, there is no more awareness that will give us Biafra as a country. There is nothing like agitation, protest anymore. Over all these years, we have been agitating and doing all these things. The question is to ask: have any country, because of our agitation and our protest, organized us and said, "Oh, you have agitated for so long"? On that note, please take your Biafra as your country. This is the areas our people need to be thinking at this stage. The question should be from 2014 to 2026, in all the agitation that we are doing, because of the pressure of the agitation, have any country called us and said, or called Mazanakan and said, because of this your protest, because of this agitation that has passed over 1 decade, for that reason, please take Biafra. You are now a new country, you are now a country called Biafra. It's not about what we think. It's not about how we feel. It's not about we're supposed to do it in this way. It's not about our opinion. The having a new country is an opinion of members of UN, AU, EU, Commonwealth, and countries in the world. And when you are not being able to reason on the level or the criteria of the other countries that you can call for recognition, or you are calling their president or their prime minister or the authorities to answer you, they will first check you that is calling us. Are you maintaining the criteria, or are you on the line of what we really represent? Are you doing what the law wants you to do before you call us? And are you the one in the right position to call us? Are you the one that we're supposed to answer? And the answering you as an individuals, do you maintain the criteria or the existing protocol of the world international communities and their guidelines, their principles? If you are not maintaining these criteria and these principles of those that you are calling, and you are not acting like them, how do you think that they will answer? How do you think that the world will answer? I want you to go back to that my headline and look at what I have there for you this evening that we are going to discuss. Our headline on the topic we have this is 21st century peaceful declaration act as a legal shield. A group with agitation only, social protest. If you go beyond that to read out, then you may understand that this protest can be provoked and it can make the world easily to tag you insurgency, terror, rebel, spoiler, in the 21st century world, betrayer. They will tag you puppet of the old existing country that on the level of the landscape that the people will want to walk away from that country, that you become a spoiler. And you may also have to think, if the world understand there is in this world what they call a spoiler in this 21st century, what else do you think that the world do not understand in this road that other people has passed through on it that we are passing through right now? Like I said in the afternoon, have you ever asked yourself, why did Chukwuemeka Odumegwu Ojukwu Biafra he declared the fail? Have you? Have you find out why the 1967 to 1970 did not hold? What is happening now and what happened then? Are they similar, the same thing that people passes in the time of Chukwuemeka Odumegwu Ojukwu? Is it the same thing that we, as people of Biafra, we are passing through today, really? When they talk about those that betrayed the movement, why the movement fell, have you asked yourself, why did this Biafra in time of Chukwuemeka Odumegwu Ojukwu fail? There is two things that made this Biafra that Chukwuemeka Odumegwu Ojukwu fought. There is things that make it fail. And those things that make it fail is happening among us or in the midst of us right now. Then I may ask you, where can you count yourself? Is he among those that makes Biafra to fail, or those that makes Chukwuemeka Odumegwu to run away and leave the freedom he's fighting for? Are you in this category of those who advised him when he went to exile that he should never talk about Biafra again? You may ask yourself. And are you in the lineage of those who never believed what Ojukwu was fighting for? Before Ifajuna names appear, do you know that Nnamdi Azikiwe was one of the prominent men that could have helped Ojukwu when Ojukwu sent him to UK for lobby and other countries? He first landed in UK and he colluded with the British that you don't need Biafra as a country, rather you need one Nigeria. And they promised him, we are going to make you the first president of Nigeria. That is why he became the ceremonial president the first time, not the main president of the country. So when you look at all these scenarios and things that we are passing through today and things that are going on this movement that we are into, then that is where you need to ask yourself some questions. Why did Chukwuemeka Odumegwu Ojukwu Biafra fails? What are those criteria that leads to that? And you now come to ask yourself very quickly, if Chukwuemeka Odumegwu Ojukwu fails in earlier 90s/20s, and he could not succeed with armed struggle and the war. Now, with all this sabotage you are seeing, with all these different groups, with all these different movements you are seeing today, do you think if we lead into war, who that want to be knocking woto, do you think that if these movements enter into war, that we can win the war? with all these betrayers around us, with IPOB on their own way, MASOB in their own way, BGC in their own way, Fallback Bridge in their own way. If you look at all these 5 groups I've mentioned here, and those who believe in one Nigeria, do you think that Biafra week, that if you decided to, that the only way option we have is to knock Woto? Do you think it is possible? With what you are saying, do you think it is possible for us to go through war and we win? I want you to take your time and answer me. Take your time and check out. Then you answer in your own way. If for those who want to knock Woto, if knocking Woto is option, that's in time of Chukwuemeka Odumegwu, when it is even far better, there is no other group that are looking for Biafra that are not sabotaging them, and it fails. My question to you, is it in this 21st century that everybody's eyes is under betrayal because of money? When Nigerian government has implemented what Gowon said in 1960, when he said that if I know that Igbo's love one is so much, I would have given the money to go and fight for the Biafra and end it up. In that 1967 to 1970, they never knew that there is much betrayal in the world. And today, the world can easily see that there is a lot of betrayers in this movement that we are into. Based on this aspect of what we are doing, I now want you to reason and research your mind clearly and say the truth on the comment section. With all these fracas, with all these gullibles, with all these betrayers, I may ask, if it happens that we are going to go into true war to achieve Biafra, who will lead? Where I ask this question because all of us, or many people who are claiming they are fighting for Biafra, have different idea and different opinion. The narrative or the words of the leaders of Nigeria that said that if I ever knew that Igbos love money so much more than themselves, that we could have not thrown one gun in Biafra and that we could have given the money for them to kill themselves. What is happening today? I want to ask you that are calling to support Butozo and Gentle the Yahoo. What was the outcome of the meeting they had with all Eastern regions? They had with Soludo and all the governors they mentioned. And who sent them for that? The meeting he went for Lagos. The meeting that Gentle went for Lagos. Have he explained us why he went to Lagos for that meeting? And is it Obato Obio or Mazen kind of send him? The meeting they went and eat the poison. Can he explain why he went to that meeting and who sent him to that meeting and on what basis? That is how you will know that those even claiming they're on the ground and they have betrayed the movement so far. Obato Obie refused to have meeting with Igbo Congress. Obato refused to have meeting with Avid. Obato refused to have meeting with any political entity coming from Nigeria. But look at them today going into meetings and they use their mouth to confess about it. Them that you are supporting, they are the one on the ground that wear these boots, nowhere is pitching them. I want to ask you, is it this way that countries in the past have achieved their own country? This way that you are, this Butozo, Gentle, you are projecting and putting on social media, is it how other countries in the past has done their own? These are the areas that you needed to look into in this 21st century. These are the areas that are more important to think about it at this stage, because it is Very, very important. If you are claiming that the men on ground are the only way to achieve Biafra, you that is claiming that they are the only way to achieve Biafra, are you the one that's going to recognize Biafra as a country? You that is the one presenting them, have you asked yourself, what are the criteria for to have a new nation? In this 21st centuries, on the criteria to have a new nation, military is included. In this 21st century, military is it included of having a new country? These are the questions that are calling for an answer. Them that you are giving money, are you aware that they went to meeting with the Southeast governors? The meeting Gentile went to Lagos to have, who sent him? The meeting they went and they eat poison, who sent him? Do you know that I went going to that meeting? Or the only thing you know that once you champion them, the money will fall. You will give. Are you going to give account of how much is coming every day and how much you are giving them? You only think that the only avenue you can use to make money is by championing men on ground. You are a failure, seriously, because the people that are given recognition are not looking for the weight and the level of military you have before they can organize you. No. I wanted to check the history of Costa Rica. Costa Rica achieved their country without even one bootsman on ground, only peaceful declaration and the diplomatic approach. They was be able maintaining the UN law and EU. On that mandate, the Costa Rica got recognition, they become a country today. And the coming in the line in terms of this particular new 21st century's laws. The 21st century has made it openly to you, to me, to every other person, that the only road to have a new country is through a peaceful declaration. This peaceful declaration, they are the one who call it a legal shield. This legal shield of a peaceful declaration is a legal shield on you and I and the Congolese rebels and any leader who is fighting for a new country, that nobody can easily arrest them again. But on level of protest, you can be arrested. I want you to look at the headline very well and listen to this. 21st century peaceful declaration acts as a legal shield. That is the headline. A group with agitation, only social media protest can never become a country. Now, why the declaration matters? Why did this our declaration matters in this movement and in this 21st century? The declaration serves as the official notification to the world that this fact now exists, that a new nation has come to exist. It is your evidence that you have moved from protest to governance. It is evidence that you have moved from protest to governance. Who governing who? Or who is governing who? Proving that you are a nation to govern your people. Listen to this place very well. It is your evidence that you have moved from protest to governance, a nation. The question is, why the declaration matters so much in this 21st century? It matters because this is the only way that you have proven to the world that a new country, a new nation has emerged. It matters because this is the only way you have proven a sovereignty that you have first organized yourself. I want to ask you a question. What you are doing today, can you kindly tell us one country that have achieved their recognition or their country because of this act today? Please, if you are following on the WhatsApp group, you can see the link there. I already posted the link, how to see the program there. Please just endeavor to like and share the program. Yes. So before I go, I see you, Chigozie. Thank you so much. Ekwem, thank you so much. Uche Ejiofor, thank you so much. I see your comments. Chigozie said, greetings, Biafrans. Ekwem said, Ndewo Maazi Shino, thank you so much. Uche Ejiofor said, good evening to you, sir. Thank you for your good work. To Biafrans people, stand in USB. Biafrans, thank you. That is our stand. Odogwodugu said, good evening from here. Odogwodugu once again said, as are we getting the point now? Greetings from my location. Thank you so much. For those who mean well to get the point, they will. But for those who want to something put in their pocket, they will not get the point. Where it is matters so much is that without a peaceful declaration, nobody look at you. There is no amount of protest. There is no amount of protest that you will protest that will make the world to call and said, please, you have protest for 12 good years. You have protest for 1 decade. On that, please take your country that you never declared. Take that your country name is what? You now said, the country name I am protesting and I'm agitating for, the country name is Biafra. And the UN, US, and Israel will say, oh, because of this, your long-time protest, your long-time agitation, they have killed many of your people. They have hired people so much. There is intimidation. We have seen human rights abuse. We have seen all this they are doing to you. For that reason, you are now a Biafra, a nation. Where has it happened? In the earlier in the earlier 18th centuries, people use gun and bullets, battle in the field to have a new nation. People use gun and bullets, battle to have a new nation. To earlier 20th centuries. Then at the end of this 20th century that ended, and the beginning of the 21st centuries that started in 2001, that's going to end in 2100, what happens? The word said, we have shifted from the battle of field of armed struggle of he who has the biggest gun, biggest military, you are a nation. We have shifted away from this and we move into a peaceful declaration. A diplomatic process, a legal criteria is the only way to have a new nation. Remember, the same people who endorse that is the only way is through gun and bullet. They are the one who has turned back and said that our changes in this 21st century is no longer gun and bullet. Are you forcing them to accept gun and bullet because you claim you are fighting for Biafra? They have already put it there before you come. 2001, nobody's talking about Biafra. There's no Mazi Nnamdi Kanu anyway. Until 2012. That is the pure truth. When he take over. So the law has already been this all this while. Our problem is that we don't have time to research. We don't ask questions. We remain the way we are. And what we think is all. And that is the best way. That is part of our problem that we are facing through today. That is the main problems. That is why after this marvelous, wonderful, peaceful declaration that gives us Biafra as a country, you are fighting against it. Now go and declare now. If USB, leading by our Deputy Prime Minister, Dr. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, is not doing well, declare your own. Let us see how you will go. The words I have made it openly here for you to understand that the movement you are into, if there is no peaceful declaration, you are just a male political media protester that are looking for a solution under internal affair of one Nigeria. That is what who you are. That is exactly who you are. It is very important that will start changing. What is that is constant in life? Changing. The world is migrating. The world is changing. The world is moving. Can't you move? Tell me something new that with protest agitation that have brought into this movement. Nothing like that. Nothing at all. Here, you now listen to the way we do it. You know the way already. So we are going in. So you may listen properly and you may understand why USB we are declared is the only last option. See, there is no video in social media. There is nothing anybody can talk today that has never been said before. The only thing that I never said in this our time is to understand the 21st century law about criteria to have a new nation, which is a peaceful declaration. That is only something new in the world, in your ear, in my own eyes, my own understanding, my own ear, in this that I'm doing right now. Every other thing that we are saying today, in IPOB, they have attacked people with all kinds of names. In IPOB, we have done all that. There's nothing new you are bringing to the table. We must bring something new to the table. The world has bring something new by making a peaceful declaration as the only number one criteria for you to become a nation. Why can't we embrace it and talk about it? There is many changes that need to be done. What you think, that thing you are thinking, it's not something that will give a nation. Do you know what we are doing? What we are doing is just this thing. Ndị anyị si n'okwu Igbo na a na-ebu ụzọ zọtasịa ana wee zọba ute. Mana our people this time around, anyị ka na-azọgodi ute ma nye nwetaba ala. With our peaceful declaration, the only means of having a recognition that protects our borders and our territory and our land is what we live, and we focus on internal matters that will not give us a Biafra. Go and verify and check. So, now, you have had analysis. Let us go into the laws, the 21st century's laws that's guiding us, the template that USB is using by the Bogare. The template that USB is using, the template. James Sigos, I can see you. Thank you for coming. So you may see and understand. Truth must be told. I want to start only to play this to you, and we pass and we continue on the part we are doing this evening based on our headline. Listen.
In the 21st century legal landscape, the difference between these two groups is the difference between a rebellious faction and a state in waiting. International bodies, the UN, AU, EU, and foreign courts look for specific markers of legitimacy. Here is how they distinguish between your two scenarios. 1. Agitation without peaceful declaration. This group is often viewed as a social protest movement, or, in harsher legal terms, an insurgent group. The legal void. Without a formal peaceful declaration, the international community has no written guarantee of what the group intends to do if they win. Will they respect human rights? Will they follow international treaties? The labeling risk. Because agitation can easily be provoked into violence, governments find it very easy to label these groups as terrorist organizations or internal security threats. International view. They are seen as a domestic police matter. Other countries are usually hesitant to intervene because there is no clear legal person to talk to. 2. Civil disobedience plus sit at home plus peaceful declaration. This group is following the Kosovo or South Sudan model, which is the gold standard for 21st century self-determination. The power of the sit at home. In international law, this is called demonstrated effectiveness. By getting millions of people to stay home, the group proves to the world that they, not the central government, control the will of the people. It is a non-violent show of force. The peaceful declaration. This is a legal contract. By issuing this, the group officially enters the international stage. They are saying, asterisk, we are not just protesters, we are a government. We promise to follow the UN Charter. The defense of civil disobedience. Because the group is peaceful and disobedient rather than violent and agitated, they gain the moral high ground. If the central government uses force against a sit-at-home, the international community views it as a crime against humanity rather than a clash with protesters. Comparison. The legal standing. Feature. Agitation only. Civil disobedience plus declaration. Legal personality. None. Seen as the mob. Emerging state actor. Main defense. Free speech. Weak. Right to self-determination. Strong. Foreign support. Unlikely. Too risky. Possible. Diplomatic recognition. Outcome. Arrests/dispersal. Referendum/mediation. Why the Declaration is the 21st century shield. In the 20th century, groups used guns to get attention. In the 21st century, groups use law and media. When a group makes a peaceful declaration, they move their struggle from the streets to the courtroom. They can hire international lawyers, lobby the US Congress, and file cases at the African Court on Human and People's Rights. Important note. A group that does agitation without a declaration is essentially fighting a boxing match with their hands tied. A group with a peaceful declaration and a history of civil disobedience is inviting the world to be the referee. Would you like to understand why a peaceful declaration is so important in the 21st century? We have to look at the user manual for creating a country, the Montevideo Convention of 1933. Even though it's an old treaty, it remains the standard used by the UN and international courts today to decide if a group is just agitating or if they are a real state. The 4 criteria for statehood. Article 1. According to the Convention, to be seen as a person of international law, a group must possess 1. A permanent population, a group of people who live there and identify with the movement. 2. A defined territory, a clear area of land that the group claims. 3. Government, an organized political body that can actually make decisions. 4. Capacity to enter into relations with other states, the ability to sign treaties and talk to other countries. How a peaceful declaration changes the game. A group that just agitates might have a population and territory, but they usually fail on criteria 3 and 4. Here is how the peaceful declaration acts as a legal bridge. 1. It proves government. Criterion 3. When a group issues a photo, they are presenting a charter or constitution to the international community. This is proof that an organized political authority exists. It moves the group from being a mob to being a cabinet. 2. It enables capacity. Criterion 4. You cannot sign a treaty with a protest. You can only sign a treaty with a representative. A peaceful declaration identifies who those representatives are. By being peaceful, the group tells the world, asterisk, we are safe to talk to. You won't be supporting a war if you meet with us. 3. Declarative theory. Article 3. This is the most important part for movements like IPOB or BIGIE. Article 3 of the Montevideo Convention says, the political existence of the state is independent of recognition by the other states. This means that if a group makes a peaceful declaration and sets up a functioning government in exile, they can argue that they are already a state under international law, even if Nigeria or the UN hasn't said yes yet. Summary. Agitation versus declaration. Action. Result under Montevideo. Legal status. Agitation/protest fails to show government or capacity. Domestic disturbance. Sit at home. Shows control of population. Effective authority. Peaceful declaration. Fulfills capacity and government. De jure state in waiting. The 21st century shield. In modern law, the peaceful declaration acts as a legal shield. It forces the parent state to treat the group as a political rival rather than a criminal one. Without that declaration, the group is just breaking the law. With it, they are exercising a right. Would you like me to explain the declarative theory versus constitutive theory, which is basically the argument over whether you are a country just because you say so, or only if others agree?
I hope you followed me. When you understand who you are, then you will be happy to represent yourself. If you don't know who you are, now, if you don't know the value or the legal approach of the world about a peaceful election, you will be wandering around the world, around social media, insulting yourself, bringing shame to yourself, and thinking you are doing somebody. That is why you are doing yourself more harm than good. And that is why I asked my question in the first place. Why is that anybody that Obato Obie remove turn against him and attack him? Today, the government of US has removed Ezamul Obi, Solomon Nkwocha, and the Onyami, and the Jude. There's somebody called, is it Jude Jidofo? These three people that has been removed today has been fall back to the platform of Biafra is my region of Ezamul Obi. That is what they use to fight for their own Biafra. And who is Ezamul Obi? A nobody. A nobody. But I'm continuously sending my warning to, not a threat, a warning to him, to stay off this nonsense you are doing on your platform. Ọkwa ndị mba ofesi ka na-amaragodo nru ala. Ọnọ ntị nso na nwatakịrị ụra. Ndị be anyị si na obi ụlọ ma ada n'egwu ma obi ụlọ ma ada n'egwu ma obi ụlọ. I want to tell you that Solomon Nkwocha might do and go free, but you might not. Be one. Nebubuto guys amru n'obi. Nebubuto onwe gị na m ga-enye aka bubuta gị very well. I refuse to do certain things about you. Mana agwa gị sị gị, if an attack on people on your page on or about our DPM and USB we are declared, okay, butere gị nsogbu. And this will be my last warning to you. I have given you a voice note. I have called you on phone. And I have reasoned with you as a brother to desist from this nonsense that you are doing. Who are you in this struggle? Who are you? All the protests that we have been doing about Biafra, the time of Mazen and the Kanu to 2021, where are you? You are triggering me. You are daring me as Amunobi. I want Biafrans to cut here sent as Amunobi. As Amunobi. On attack on our DPM. On attack on the control of we bring you out. Use this your platform. Do your rubbish. Do your betrayal movement that you have joined to betray. What do I say so? Livingstone, Gaddafi, Kelechi Ghana, what is Madam Azoka, Charles Nwankwo. When Obato Obie remove these people or this movement, we all know the attack. We know the attack Livingstone and the prince, the one called himself Prince, the old fool, they did against Obato Obie. That is the same thing that Ezamul Obi, Onyami, Solomon Nkwocha, that I do. When you see Obato Obie, when you see Ezamul Obi writing all those nonsense he's writing on a long note, he's nobody in this struggle. When did he join? Ezamul Obi, can you post one video of you in protest from Mas Simon Azinandekan to Mas Nandekan, from Mas Nandekan to Mas Simon? Can you protest? Put one video. If you started when DOS colluded with Nigeria and killed over 1,000 ESM in us, where are you then? I will prove who you are, Ezamul Obi. I am not threatening you, but I'm warning you. I know you, you know me one-on-one. Before I left. Before I left Southeast. You know me, I know you, Ezamul Obi. I'm warning you, Ezamul Obi. If anybody attack our DPM on your page and you don't remove it, you don't bring it down, I will bring you out. Because this is the only first time we are getting Biafra movement right. The questions, those are not flowing, you are not asking because of their hatred. And those one Nigeria of people who never want Biafra to be a country that are following you, they are following you, refuse to understand that this Nkwocha, that Obato Obie suspended him. Why did Obato Obie suspended Nkwocha and the Onyami in the first time? Has Mazi Simon Ekpa never suspended them before? Remember that all these people have something in the past that makes Simon Obato Obie the prime minister to remove them. Go and check very well. Remove them today. Is it the first or is it going to be the last one? On this mandate, I have understand that the declaration is only way to have Biafra right now through a diplomatic process. After declaration, you go to diplomatic process. Is it this thing you are doing on WhatsApp? We bring it. When someone attack you on your page, you will delete that one. But when someone attack our deputy prime minister on your page, you will allow it to be. The only thing you will do that will save you is to stay away from anybody in your page attacking our DPM and USB we are declared. I said, in this movement, you are nobody. Where are you from? My last warning, not a threat to you, Ezamulobi. My last warning to you is what I'm giving to you. I want people to call this particular area out and send to him. If you're against USB, we are declared. If you're against Ngozi Rebels, I am against you. I look at my brother. I disown you. Just what Biafra, Haprum Biafra and Keman and Ngozi Rebels declared. Man know what other people has done in the past. And I see that what she's doing is how people like Ethiopia, Belarus, Algeria, Angola, Namibia, South Africa, Burkina Faso, and many of them in the past used to achieve their country, is what she's doing today. And she's doing it 100% right. My warning, not a threat to you, stop for the last time. The next time I will see a post on your page that attack our DPM, believe you me, I will do the worst. I'm not hiding myself. You are the only one who is hiding your picture on your real name. You are the one who is hiding your pictures and your real name. Remember that. And never you want me to report you in the homeland, in our village, in the community. Because of you want money to buy a car, because you want money to build a house, you will think that all this your write-up is just because of Ezamulobi want to build a house he never built. He said that training Biafra military is the only way you can buy a car, Ezamulobi. Ezamulobi, I know you one-on-one. You know my house, I know your house. Ezamulobi, obo kwa mwake na amro don ruwa na platform ide na social media. You never build a house, I never build. You never buy a car. If you buy, it's because of this movement that we are into. What you are doing was what Gaddafi did when Obato Obie sacked him from British government in exile. What we are doing today was what Azoka Chaswan colluded with Gaddafi to do when Obato removed them. That is something that you are doing today, you and Solomon and the Onyami and Jidofo. Nothing more than that. All your write-up is about, after you write, you post a link that Biafrans will use to contribute money for you. Today, you know that I am holding myself. You are pushing me to the wall. You are triggering me, Ezamulobi. Ezamulobi, Biafra is my region. You are triggering me. Onyo mi nakwa nakunuko obodo oyibo. Inokwa na ala Igbo. Ezamulobi. Inokwa n'ụlọ Ezamulobi. Ọkwa onye ofie katakara m n'ogodo nru ala. mmadụ makwa ezi isi nwanne ya nwere ezi isi eze amụrụ obi. I am warning you. I am only giving you a warning, not a threat. The time I told you personal conversation that if any attack on Tongoza Rabeze or USB are declared, Namga Grogi, humble lion, Igora Maradi Orama, I will begin to treat your matter the way you and the Nkwacha and your group on your platform. I will begin to treat you the way Maz Humble Lion was treating Radi Orama, analyzing all his broadcasts. I will analyze you as Amulodi. And you know that when I start, your picture will appear. Your name will appear as Amulobi. Be warned for the last time. You know who you are. I know who you are. You know who I am before I left. That is all you know so far. But I know who you are even as I'm talking to you. My simple advice and warning to you to stay off this rubbish you started. Once you have betrayed the movement, stay off the line. Gaddafi, Kelechi, time of Obatobie from Ghana, used this struggle to buy bus. He was driving, he used to do business in Ghana today. You come to look for money. Onya go a lead. I know you as Amunobi. But for the criteria for the quality to lead this month, you dare not. You want someone who hired you to give you explanation why he will sack you. Who does that? All these long notes you are writing there, you're just wasting your time. And those who never know your capacity. You are too pompous. You are too no. I just want you to cry had I know when Biafra, when those are the best, USB have achieved recognition. That is when I want you to cry had I know. Because I have warned you to stay off. When they give suspension, you come to Biafra to say, I know you as Amunobi, you always loyal to somebody who gives you money. When we're on the ground. You always love money. Because of a lot of money, you can do anything. I know you very well. I end it here. I warn you for the second time, for the last time again. Because of my warning to you, you rushed and remove yourself from our WhatsApp group. Because my message is hurting you down. You can also remove me on your... I did not remove you from our WhatsApp group, but you are the one who removed me. You are the one who removed yourself. If you remove me today on your two platforms, I will still be getting that information. You are in a ngangage na mpako di too much. And oya na chibugi here. Nganga butozo odide soria. Ezamu lobi. Abako mbaraza ramana ogen on obango to rebeza chokwa brago. And we also fight for you. Mane he bebo afaga ebo mwanza riju afo chireshi akamba. Inokwa n'ụlọ. Inokwa abroad. That is all I will say for now. Because you are pushing me on the wall. Ukwe mantu andeba isa se eke ata mmiri nso. Ure ngozi orabeze. Ure USB sora monso. I won't take it from because I know you very well. Know that you are nobody. Struggle came about 2002. Asingi post one protest from time of Mazen and the Kano in Onimia. For those who are following you on that your page, you don't know who you are. I know you. I know you one-on-one. Conversation one-on-one. You know where I sleep. I know where you sleep. The same nganga na yusubu no lo kibu la Biafra movement. Enough is enough. So we move. A declaration is one thing that nobody will take away from us. Through this declaration is only way that we have achieved Biafra. Through this declaration is that easy access way, that the easy way for our leaders who are on top of this movement. With that peaceful declaration, they can never be arrested. The peaceful declaration has moved us out from a protest group to a nation in waiting, into a governance, proving that you are a nation, even though that UN and Nigeria has never recognized us. This is the rules of the UN. This is the existing protocol of the UN. And there is no other way around. Since all these years around, Kwame and Debayana say, Nana Abu also krikri. What was he doing since all these years? That is what we was been doing since all these years. We are running around. That was I just be doing without declaration. Declaration is only what set it straight. It's like when you enter express and you bring the throttle down, you move. You use your auxiliary and take off the road and jump all the dangerous area, move. That is what declaration is. Declaration is an auxiliary gear that nothing stops on the road. After you have made a declaration, you enter full one way to prove to the UN that I am a nation, that I'm only calling on you to recognize me. This is what it simply means. The other way around that you are looking at it is not that way. The other way of what you think, narrating what you think every day, changing your topic but saying the same thing, is not the way. The way is through a peaceful declaration. Now we move.
To understand why a peaceful declaration is so important in the 21st century, we have to look at the user manual for creating a country, the Montevideo Convention of 1933.
Do you see the backup? A law back it up. To understand why a peaceful declaration is so much important in this 21st century. Remark that word, so much important. A peaceful declaration. We have to look at the user manual for creating a country. The user manual to creating what? A country. The Montevideo Convention of 1933, this is a law that backs up where UN sets out the criteria to have a new nation. Now, let us find out if on this criteria to have a new nation, if we, as the people of Biafra, we met those criteria. If we are following this template of the UN, because a son or a child who must pass out from a school to become to graduate from a school must buy handouts. He must read textbook. You will pay school fees. You will follow the instruction of the school and the law of that school. That is how you will graduate as one of the best students in the school. And you have a result that you will present to the members of your family when you got home. That is the same thing from us. Our textbooks, our principals, our lecturers, our teachers in school, they are UN, they are EU, they are AU. This is the top lecturers in school. Then our class teachers are Mazin Nnamdi Kanu, Simon Ekpanjoko, Dr. Ngozi Orabeze, and the US cabinet members. These are the teachers. Then we on social media, are those implementing, are people to trying to implement, to understand this government and what they're teaching to us. Like when you go back home, we are the home assignment. We are the home, as when we the that paper you used to do a homework in the home. That is who we are, who we represent. All these things is what a student will put on together before he will graduate and he will have a nice result. Or is the same criteria of having a new nation. You must pass a level of protest to make a peaceful declaration. From peaceful declaration, you work for diplomatic recognition. You work for legal aspect of it, and you stand on the existing protocol or the criteria of the world to achieve that new country. But in all, you must do what? A peaceful declaration. To understand why peaceful declaration is so important in this 21st century. The 21st century started in 2001, is going to end in 2100. We are in 2026. Very long year to go, but the law has already been there for us. Before our peaceful declaration, the law has started existing. And then you see why the person who understands this law very well is Obato Obie, our Prime Minister, Simon Ebanjoko. He understands this law of 21st century. That is why he told us, without this peaceful declaration, that we are making noise in social media. To prove that he understands it, he said that after a peaceful declaration, that if you or I expecting him to throw one bullet in Biafra land or to Nigeria, that he will not going to do that anymore. That is last his word before he was arrested. Is it not true? What are the last brokers of Abato Obie? That is when you will know that he has studied the movement of the world in this 21st century. Know that the only easy access way, they call it a software of a new nation, is what? Through a peaceful declaration, diplomatic, legal. This is two main way for you to have a new country in this 21st century. The world also make it openly under the UN Charter, Article 2 in bracket 4, that he prohibits any country who will use gun to prove that they are a country in this 21st century. They give an example of Kosovo, South Sudan. That is why they are delayed, that in their fight of having for their new country, that they enter into the new law of 21st century, no armed struggle. That is also why they are serving punishment in the eyes of the UN and the eyes of the EU. In the eyes of the AU. I want you to see it clearly. The overall, them all is the UN. No matter how corrupt they are the leaders. Lecturers in school, are they not corrupt? And because of these lecturers because of the lecturers are corrupt, are you not sending your daughters and your school to university to go and meet them there and come out in school? Jesus is sorry. That is where we are. Even though an old treaty, it remains the standard used by the UN and international court today to decide a group is just agitating or if they are a real estate. It depends. That is why I told you, whatever you call USB does not matter. Whatever you call Ngozi does not matter. It cannot stop. Look at this word from here. To boost your morale so much is what? It remains the standard used by the UN and international court today to decide if you are just agitator group or if you are a real state. Now, to be the question. Now, if you're hearing that up today that we are into after our peaceful declaration, that is in the hand of the UN to decide if you can pass or you will not pass, if you are a good student or not a good student, a good student. That is how it is. Even though in the old, that is 20, 18, 19, 20th centuries, UNC they decide that you are a real country through gun and bullet, through a battlefield, is what they use. In these 21st centuries, they decide if you are a state by themselves through a peaceful declaration and the peaceful disobedient and do this at home, not by protest. The things are very simple to understand, but you make it difficult for yourself, and you'll be looking at USB to come. The same way a lecturer decide your fate in your exam is how you decide the fate of the Biafran people, no matter how corrupt they are.
Even though it's an old treaty, it remains the standard used by the UN and international courts today to decide if a group is just agitating or if they are a real state. The 4 criteria for statehood, Article 1. According to the Convention, to be seen as a person of international law, a group must possess 1. A permanent population, a group of people who live there and identify with the movement.
I hope you are hearing it. The 4 criteria to prove that you are a nation. The first 4 criteria, there is no military there. There is no men on ground. Because people have their own country in the past without one single man on ground. Costa Rica as a country example. According to the list, according to the convention, to be seen as a person or of international law, a group must possess what? 1, not military. They said number 1, a permanent population. A group of people who live there and identify with the movement. Today, people has identified by voting through self-referendum, by voting through election in Old Anambra, in the 3 states, that people are living in the state. That people has their interest on the movement of Biafra as a country. Number 2, divine territory. A clear area of land that the groups claims. You hear it, after declaration, you are claiming everything. You must have it where you claim. That is where you have the 40 states, where Ebube is the capital. Take it, that is how it goes. These are criteria of the UN. These are criteria of the EU to prove that you are a nation. Not what you think, not what you teach, not how you feel. Number 3, government, an organized political body that can actually make decisions on their own, not making decisions that Nigerian government wants sit at home to stop. They said here what? Government. An organization, an organized political body that can actually make decisions like what USB is doing today. Are they not only the one who you are seeing their decisions, who implementing rules, laws in the Biafra land today, despite being exiled? Then number 4, I want you to tell yourself truth. In this criteria to become a nation, in this first number 4 criteria, did you say military among them? Now listen to number 4. Capacity to enter into relations with other states, you must act as a state before other states, other countries will call you a country. That was simply mean. You must act as a nation. You will prove a capacity that you are a nation before others will see you as a nation. The ability to sign treaties and talk to other countries, if I make it openly now, you can see it clearly. The ability to sign treaties and agreements with other world, with other countries, to talk to other countries. Izioge Nkere will go and talk to other country, only to talk to this man from NATO chairman. The man was the one who was educating him about Biafra. Instead of him to educate the man and give the man why he want Biafra as a country, why he answer ATM. And he cannot do that. He never do that. These are the areas I want you to look into. These 4 criteria that you had here, did you hear military? Let us continue going if you hear military. The world has moved away from military chain command to make it to that is why you are a new nation. It's no longer in existence.
2. A defined territory, a clear area of land that the group claims. 3. Government, an organized political body that can actually make decisions. 4. Capacity to enter into relations with other states, the ability to sign treaties and talk to other countries. How a peaceful declaration changes the game. A group that just agitates might have a population and territory, but they usually fail on criteria 3 and 4. Here is how the peaceful declaration acts as a legal bridge.
I hope you followed. How peaceful declaration changes the game. A group that just agitates might have a population and territory, but they usually fail. They usually fail on a criteria 3 and 4. The IPOB agitator group that still today claiming that they are in charge. It is because of the action that Israel is talking about Biafra. And you never knew that the Biafra document of peaceful declaration is in their table. As what we give them moral to talk on a legal, because a declaration is what? A legal shield to give other countries leverage to intervene into your matter. A group that just agitated might have a population and territory, but they usually fail on criteria 3 and 4. Here is how the peaceful declaration act as a legal bridge. The peaceful declaration act as an illegal bridge that hold all of us together, that keeps you going, that makes you to sit in the UN and address your issue in a due time. They told you here that agitator group, a group that's just only agitation, might have a population. Yes, when we are in IPOB, when I was in the homeland, I know the crowd we are pulling for protests. So we also never know that it's all this while. This is how the world are watching us. That's why they are not talking about us. That's why we kill a national, nobody talks about it. Because of what they said. But they usually fail on criteria 3 and 4. And what is this criteria 3 and 4 that what are talking about? And here is how the peaceful declaration act as a legal bridge. Now, let us continue. Let us see number 1, how they fail, how agitation group number 3 and number 4. Listen.
1. It proves government. Criterion 3. When a group issues a formal declaration, they aren't just shouting in the street, they are presenting a charter or constitution. To the international community, this is proof that an organized political authority exists. It moves the group from being a mob to being a cabinet. 2.
I hope you are listening. Where IPOB has failed since all this while, and the way US has got it right. Number 1, it proves a government. Criteria 3. When a group issues a formal, peaceful declaration, they are not just shouting in the streets anymore like those are doing protests. and agitator group, the lifetime agitators. When a group issue a formal declaration, they are they are they are not just shouting in the street. They are presenting a charter or a constitution to the international community. This is a proof that an organization, or that this is a proof that an organized political authority is existing. That's a what? That an organized political authority is existing through a peaceful declaration. It's proof that a political authority exists. It moves the group from being a mob, being an insurgency group, be a rebel group, be that is the abolition of mob, that is be a terror that you are not that you become they become a cabinet government. That is why you have USB cabinet members wasn't very strong because of the peaceful declaration. Because of what? The peaceful declaration. Please, I want you to like and share. If you never like, please hit the like button. Please, I urge you to hit the like button. So other people know that we are live. It's not just watching. You might be watching, check if you have liked the program. Because when you like, you are bringing more people to listen. This is the most important message. This is what essentially we are. This is the most important message we need to share to ourselves. The message is what deserves to share, because this is what we have been missing since all this while. That is why we are turning around in this movement. So I urge you to please like and share. Please. Like, share, let them know. Let these other people to understand what we are doing. Let them understand that the only way is only this peaceful declaration is the only way we have achieved our country. That there is no other way. And that the peaceful declaration is the legal side of it, that nobody will be easy to tag terrorists or arrest anymore. When we have had this kind of opportunity, what are we waiting? Now, why do they say that a group that is doing agitation, that a group that we only agitator has failed? Why? Because they are not being seen as organized political authority, but they see people that a group that make a peaceful declaration as the one that have leverage to have an organized political authority that exists. It moves the group from being a rebel, insurgency, terror, to being a cabinet of a new government. This is how it goes, and this is how it happens. Now let us go to number 2. Now this number 2 is number 4. How agitation group have failed in this 21st century, and what needs to be done. What needs to be done has done by USB. We are declared. Take it or you leave it. But this is the simple truth. Has been done by Tongozo Arabese. The peaceful declaration that happened in Helsinki, Finland on November 29, 2024. That is the one that what I'm talking about here. A peaceful declaration made by people of Biafra. A peaceful declaration made by people of Biafra through our Deputy Prime Minister, Tongozo Arabese. Number 2.
2. It enables capacity. Criterion 4. You cannot sign a treaty with a protest. You can only sign a treaty that identifies who those representatives are. By being peaceful, the group tells the world, asterisk, we are safe to talk to. You won't be supporting a war if you meet with us.
I hope you're listening. Number 2, we are those that are only protestants like IPOB. We know ourselves. The only thing we know is how to protest, how to agitate, how to attack one another. That is the only thing we do in IPOB, nothing more than that. Nothing. Go to meeting, discuss about Simon Ebanjok. Go to talk about Ngozi Arabese. That is what they do, nothing. Nothing in that their meeting. After that, they will eat rice and drink Coca-Cola, and they go back home. The only sit-at-home order that is very important, they distance them from it. Which order are they giving? The underground, collecting money from the Nigerian government, thinking that they will stop the movement. Ono late. Through that means, ono tipabu akpa aja. Ono akwọ n'aka na tipabu akpa aja. You cannot sign a treaty with a protest. Are you hearing it? You can't sign a treaty with a protest. You can only sign a treaty with a representative. With a representative from where a peaceful declaration identifies who those representatives are. By peaceful declaration, the world will know who are the representative of the indigenous people of Biafra. By a peaceful declaration, identifies by the means of declaration, mbuwa marago onye na represent, onye na lead. Look at how the world, their way of thinking, their way of seeing things are not your own way. It's not your own view. The world don't do how they feel. They focus on the law that has already been there before us. Answering Rising Sun, answering IPOB, answering Avid, snapping picture at back of Mazda and the can. Does he give us Biafra? Answer is no. You only do that because of you want money. When you realize that this old name is not giving you money, you want to change to a new name. Shame on all of you. You cannot sign treaty with your protest and agitation IPOB. You cannot. For claiming America and all these that are coming right now, this is where you a big fool. You can only sign a treaty with a representative. A peaceful declaration identifies who those representing are. Those that are representing their people through a peaceful declaration. That is only how you know them. And all the cabinet members, the world know it. It happens in Finland, it happens in America. This level where we are today, they know those that made declaration. That is those that the government of Morocco recognized in times of America. When it happened to Finland, that is those the Soviet Union recognized, including Germany. Stay there. By being peaceful, the group is telling the world. Do you see why our DPM are calling for peaceful movement at this stage? Do you see why you don't want to able to be knocking? Now we not be them. Now we not be them. It's no longer in the era of now we not be them. Those ones are expired. Why Ezam will be championing the issue of security? You think that because security is very, very big, the budget of security is too high. So from there, we want to make money to build house and buy a car. But I'm telling you, because I know him very well, more than you. He's my brother. The same village. So I know why I am sending him, because I know him, I know his character, I know what he represents. Onyenganga. The only way he's running to talk about, we see all his posts, he will cut where Fulanis are flogging somebody. He will tell you that are buying people. Why Ezra Mulobi is doing that is what? Because he wants money. And the also of now, Ezra Mulobi is that person who, when any big man gives him money, answer you, sir. If you don't give him money again, disappear from you, become a bad person. It has happened in our community. Let him tell me, I will prove it out. When I was on ground, I have evidence of all I want to do about him. If he continue on attack on our DPM, on that Biafra is my region. If he does that, you will think that Biafra is my region is only on WhatsApp that will give us Biafra as a country. You think that every time you have meeting in the Zoom, come inside, we give us Biafra. I am sorry for you. Nobody can. If anybody is being duped in this 21st century, that's when I will say a fool at 20 is a fool at 40. A fool at 40 is a fool at 80. The time has gone. Yes, for those that never greeted today, I want to greet all of you before we continue. Yes, Chigozie James, good evening from here. David Onye, good evening from here. Ifani Wampo, good evening from here. Chinwenwa Ikuku, good evening from here. Edith, good evening from here. Pitara, good evening from here. Ogonaya, good evening from here. Thank you so much. Please, Biafrans, like and share the program. One thing I know that our people don't like my page. Do you know why? Because I am not talking about Adadi Orama and the Eggman. They don't come. That's why we will be on program roughly 2 hours. You will see 22 like or 28 like. It doesn't matter. What matters is that what I'm doing gives me joy. That it makes me understand that I understand what it means to have a new nation of Biafra. The process to go and get it right now. And that is what USB is doing. If you're not in USB, sorry. Because in na mmiri ncha abaghị anya eze amụ n'obi isi ka ọ na-asa gị propaganda ka ọ na-ebu to get money, nothing more than that. And you know that in everything, the only thing you give a bigger board gauge to do it is security. It's all about eze amụ think that through that he will gain something. I leave it there for you. I am warning you. I am not threatening you, but this is a warning. So remember where we are discussing right now, we're a group like those that only believe in agitation. Now, can you see that there is no amount of agitation that will make the world to come and say, hey, IPOB has been agitating under self-determination for over 12 years, for over 1 decade. And because of this agitation that all of you are doing the protest, okay, I give all of you Biafra. I recognize all of you as a Biafra. Stop deceiving yourself. Because there is existing protocol. This new protocol of this first century, you always see on lineup of my page is step by step that I'm getting to do, I'm doing it. If you check what we did yesterday was not the same thing we are doing today. The yesterday program is different, today's program is different, but they all already around in a peaceful declaration and agitation. How only peaceful declaration make you a nation. How over long time protest makes you mob, rebel, insurgency, terror. That is what the world will tag on you, not me. And nobody will declare USB declare terrorist. IPOB as a private organization was declared terrorist. Let's continue. A peaceful declaration in this 21st century identify who those representing their people. By being peaceful, this group telling the world, we are safe. You are safe to talk to us. You will not be supporting a war if you met with us. The US has proven that we don't want war. US has proven that the only thing we want is what? Biafra as our own nation. That is the only thing we want. And the criteria of it is through a peaceful declaration, not by agitation. In this 21st century, everything is changing. If you are using Android phone, ask yourself, what are you using? What are you using in the past? Are you still using landline in your home? Are you still using Nokia Touch today? If you are not using Nokia Touch, that means you approve the changes of the world. So when it's come to Biafra movement, you don't want the changes to happen. Sorry, the changes has happened already, whether I like it or not. Whether you like it or not. For those who may watch us after, please hit the like button. Now, number 3.
3. Declarative theory. Article 3. This is the most important part for movements like IPOB or BRGIE. Article 3 of the Montevideo Convention says, the political existence of the state is independent of recognition by the other states.
I hope you're hearing it. That is what you see how they fell. We have given, and they give you an example of those. But on the issue of the USB we are declared, we have jumped all this level of felling because the world already know who they talk to, who send a document to them, and those are standing and pushing for Biafra as a country. The world knows it clearly. The world has understand it. So the world are no longer panicking. The world stand on this mandate of what? A peaceful declaration that gives a new nation. IPOB fell because the world knows them as one of the most deadliest agitation group. That is, and they are number 10 in the world as one of the most deadly agitator group. That is where the world put IPOB. Then USB we are declared was put as one of the exile governments out of the 75 exile government in the world. In this out of 75 exile government in Africa, you have 9. You have 9 exile governments in Africa right now. Those that even another country is trying to pull out from South Africa. Do you know that? Another country want to pull out from Algeria. Do you know that? A country want to pull out from Namibia. Do you know that? You see how it happens. And their government, all of them are in exile. All of them, they are in exile. If you go to my WhatsApp page, I post all these governments. Do you know also in the world that out of the 75 exile government in the world, there is what they call screaming. When they scream down, they got infected 40. Out of the infected 40, they scream down to the first 10. Out of the first 10, USB is number 5. What else do you want again? The world already, they said through a peaceful declaration that the world know who represents the people and those they will talk to. What else do you want the government to do for you? What is that you want this government to do for that they might give to you? They have saved you from tagging you terrorist. Did they tag Biafra Republic government in exile terrorist? The answer is no. Who did they tag? IPOB organization. Because that organization, that's private organization registered by Mazna Dekan IPOB in 2014 was the one that tagged terrorists, not the indigenous people. Because I am an indigenous person. And the only USB has changed every status for me. Let's continue. The political existence of the state is independent of recognition by other states. Are you hearing it? That is why the government is in exile, battling through diplomatic, through legal approach for us to achieve Biafra as a country through recognition. It will be that.
This means exile hasn't said yes yet.
Clear, my people. Can someone confirm if you are hearing me loud and clear? Try. I think we are under attack, really. Yes, I think so. Tell him to give you the phone.